All right. It says I'm live. Let me bump up. There we go. There we go. Oops. I've got a nice candle burning, a nice smell. I'm going to put on some chapstick. I'm going to make myself comfortable for our time together. I hope you do the same. I do. All right. Let's take a look at what's going on here. What do we got going on this morning, this evening, folks? Huh? I'm going to check a couple of things here. There we go. There we go. I love this. I'm looking at some stuff here. Okay, nothing's going on. All right. Oh, there is actually. Okay. So, good evening, Judy Dukes. Judy Dukes. Not that I always want to be associating you with my habit tracker, but I have barely looked at mine today. Jeep Girl 59. Not sure who that is. It's so funny. Sometimes, and I don't know why, YouTube will assign a new username to people. So go figure. There we go. Cynthia Caritz, nice to see you. Heather MC, Beth After Dark. Right. I love it. Narelle. Alrighty. Narelle is working from home in Australia, people. How cool is that? I am working from home here in Pennsylvania. Equally as dramatic. Not really. All right. So I hope you had a good day. I hope this is going to be a nice, obviously it's going to depend on your, what do I want to call it? Your time zone. But I hope what has happened to you in your waking hours today has been good. Hello from LO. I don't know what LO is. Penny Myers is already in bed in NEPA. Frankly, I'm jealous. I will be in bed shortly after we are done here. I'm going to unplug my laptop, bring it into bed with me, and watch some All Creatures Great and Small. Yes. Well, Narelle, it is kind of cool. I mean, to think that there is technology that connects us other than being pen pals and writing on air mail paper and putting stamps on things, that there's technology that is literally connecting one side of the world to another side of the world, and we get to be the connection, all of us. I think that's pretty neat. It is pretty dramatic, you know? I don't know about Pennsylvania dramatic, but we don't need that much drama. All right. So good evening, everybody. Good evening, McDougs. I am about to take a look at my habit tracker. And as I do that, I want you to just take a moment and reflect back on what you have done so far today. You still have time to do some of your things that you like to get into the habit of, and I will walk you through this with me. So here's the funny thing. So the people that struggle, and Judy, I'm not singling you out, but Judy Dukes, I know you say I can't do a habit tracker, but you did one day, so you can do it. Yesterday, I kind of I half-assed it yesterday. I forgot to fill it out. So let me see what I can remember. I know I didn't do that. Walk number 2. Well, actually, we kind of walked around. We kind of, Carla Jane, nice to see you. We walked around yesterday. We walked around IKEA. I'm taking that as a walk. Did I drink more water? Nope. So there, pothole. No big deal. The reason I call the habit tracker pavers and potholes is because much like when you're driving, and especially this time of year where I live, there are potholes all over the place. You try to avoid them, but sometimes you hit them. But it should not stop you unless it's so bad that it gives you a flat tire. But even then, you get your tire fixed, you move on. Okay. Teeth, brush, and you know what? I don't even think I brushed my teeth last night, to be honest with you. No big deal. I'm putting a 0, an O, a pothole in it. Did I floss my teeth? Well, if I didn't floss them, if I didn't brush them, I certainly didn't floss them. So, okay, that was yesterday. I am making this fun by doing it in a rainbow this year. So red, orange, yellow. So I'm going to do yellow. Okay. Hello, Christine. Nice to see you. Today, did I take my vitamins? Yes, I took my vitamins. Did I take my fiber? Old people talk. Yes, I did. Did I do walk number 1? No. This is the thing. There are going to be seasons where some of these things are easier than others. I know I have had a lot of water. So yay, I'm filling that in. Today, I just came from a Pilates class. Did I take walk number 2? Well, if I didn't take walk number 1, I couldn't have taken walk number 2, but I know I walked. Actually, technically, I had to walk around a hospital today. So I'm gonna redact that. I'm gonna take back that 0, that pothole. Think about the things you did today and write down the things that feel good. Catch up on anything you're falling behind on. Did I drink water number 2? I did, and check this out. Alrighty. So Judy Dukes, I did do my 20-minute declutter, but haven't checked it off my habit tracker. Still need to get the rest of my water in. Okay, grab your habit tracker now. Fill in the block that says 20-minute 20-minute declutter, and then also fill up your glass. Judy Dukes, how much? And you're welcome. Of course, I will check in with you. Okay. All righty. There we go. Amy M is Jeep Girl. Nice to see you. Yay. Therapy Gal Sue is here. So Judy Dukes, since we're kind of chatting here with people and we're thinking about the things that we're trying to get better at habit wise, and I'm going to follow up with Carla Jane too, because she was hoping to get some good stuff done today. And then, man, do I have a story for you guys about something that when unexpected things happen. Okay, I think that'll be a fun thing to do. All right, Judy Dukes, you still have to get the rest of your water in. Judy Dukes, how much water is the rest of your water? Okay, I'm just curious. I know myself that this that I have here is about 32 ounces. I don't know if I'm going to drink all this, but I will match you sip for sip during this TikTok live. Kind of like it's almost like when you donate to PBS and there's somebody's doing a matching donation. I will hydrate myself 30 ounces. Okay, so I just did 2 sips. Judy, do you have 30 ounces of water readily available next to you? I hope you do. Then what we're going to do is somebody can pick a word. Let's make some fun out of this. And we can hydrate, kind of like doing shots back in the day, or back in the day like yesterday. Okay, you've got it right beside you. Judy Dukes, what would you like the word, the hydrate word to be? It's going to be one that I'm going to need to use often. So think about the words that I tend to use often, and I will make a point that every time I say that word, I will pause and sip. You will pause and sip. And anybody else who wants to play along. All of us as humans can benefit from more water in our bodies and in our lives. Think about that. Water and air, 2 things that are so important to us. And basically what they are is they help us get oxygen, and I just saw it, Judy Dukes, down into all of our cells. Okay, so that the hydrate word is down. Okay, and this will be interesting because I'm going to be trying to say it. Yes, drink up anytime I say the word down. Oops, said the word down. That was twice. 2 sips. 2 sips. 1 sip. 2 sip. Notice this too. Notice that a sip, there we go, down it is. Sue is joining in. Anybody else is going to join in too. A sip of water. Notice a sip is a unit of measure. A sip is a chunking down of something big. I did this when I was recovering from my tummy ache a couple of weeks ago. It seemed overwhelming to even drink any water, especially a lot of it. And when my doctor said, you can chunk, well, she didn't say chunk it down. There's another down. But she gave me a smaller unit of measure to sip. She said, even if you drink just not even a tablespoon, a teaspoon every minute, that will help keep you hydrated. That small amount, imagining literally like a little measurement teaspoon, I said, I can do that. I can't chug down. a giant 32-ounce thing of water, but I can take 32 1-ounce sips. Maybe I can take 64 half-ounce sips. Okay? And will we all get to drinking um, all of our water by the time the clock winds down on us tonight? Maybe, maybe not. But we will have done some of it. Okay. So notice that. Now, this is where, and I love it. Narelle is saying, drinking my water as it's a warm day. Here's the interesting thing, Narelle, is that the temperatures are way down here in the United States, and we have a lot of snow that fell down. That's 2 downs. Now, don't worry, I will spread this out so we're not running to the bathroom midway through because we're only 12 minutes into the YouTube live. But the interesting thing to me is that sometimes it is more difficult to drink water when the weather is cold. And yet that's when we typically have the heat on in our house. Like I can feel the heat blowing on me right away. That also dries us out from the in the dryness. So it's equally as important, if not more so, to drink it in the winter. Sometimes it's easier because you want to cool yourself down when it's warm out. Sometimes habits can be easy to do. Other times you need to have a tool to help you. As I said, even with this tool, there are things I have not done on my stuff, okay? So I have not done some of my habits, but tonight, especially because I didn't do it yesterday, I will brush my teeth and wash my face. I guess I can floss my teeth. Yeah, I'm looking at the few potholes. Yeah, Gina, you're right. It is a different angle than TikTok. Yes, you can see more of my room, right? And I tend to, it's weird. I'm moving this way, but it's flipped, and that's why you can read the happiness right here. And so it looks like I'm moving in that direction. Anyhow, there we go. So we mix it up here. We mix it up. We mix it up. And just so you know, everybody, we're doing a hydration word to get some more water into our bodies and to help Judy Dukes practice using her pavers and potholes habit tracker. I'm looking at the habits that I have said to myself I want to do every day ish. And there's a couple that I haven't done in 2 days. So yes, I will up my ante and recommit to. And I will also write that down right here on my schedule of today. So I will say do last 3 entries in P and P, pavers and potholes. I'm circling it so I see that. I'm putting it in front of me where I notice it. I will highlight it with one of my highlighters. All of those things are going to be things that I can do to help me do something that I have been dragging my feet on, reluctant, ambivalent about, because I know it's good for me. Okay. I'm also checking off that I went to my Pilates and did this. So, Carla Jane, I don't mean to call on you, and you don't need to answer if you don't want to, but when you and I were talking earlier today, you had a few things that you had made a plan to get some stuff done. Now, I know because I'm going to segue into the story of why Carla Jane and I started our coaching late today. I know work, life happens, but I am hoping, Carla Jane, that you got some stuff done, that you felt good about what you put in your donation bag, that you were able to find the papers you were looking for and make the phone call and feel good about what you did in house A and then went down to house B and put some things away and made some food. I hope you did that. All right. Now, here's a crazy story I want to share with you guys, that what a good thing it was that I was working from home today. So I work from home and I coach. And I was waiting for my next client to come on, and we have one of those Ring doorbells where it has a camera. And I noticed that it said somebody's at your front door, and I didn't think much of it because we were supposed to be getting something delivered. And then it said you have another person at your door, And I was like, okay, whatever. Like, we get stuff delivered. Long story short is I looked at the camera. I opened it up just out of curiosity, and I saw somebody kind of kneeling down on our front stoop. I'm like, well, that's odd. I don't know what that's about. Maybe the person is delivering something and taking a picture. Long story short is it ended up being I went out to the front door and I was like, "Are you okay?" And my door was shut because I wasn't sure who this was. You guys, it was our neighbor across the street, 91 years old. Actually, no, I think he's going to be 90 this year. Don, I'm sorry, I made you too old. He slipped and fell trying to put one of our pieces of mail that was in his mailbox. He slipped and fell going up to our mailbox. And then what ended up happening is he was struggling to get up. So I immediately noticed him and I was like, "Oh my gosh, are you okay?" Even worse, he has a pacemaker, and the stress of him trying to stand up with nothing to hold on to caused his pacemaker to go off. Now, this is totally something that isn't expected. I was literally waiting for my client to sign on. And I left I was on the computer waiting and I left. He is fine, you guys. He is fine. But this is when I tell you that there are certain things like life will throw you for a loop. I felt grateful that I work with cool people, that I could text and say, something is going on. I will get back to you as soon as possible. I felt so grateful that initially I had been feeling kind of a little bit sad that I was working from home today. And also, I had a doctor's appointment in the afternoon because there was a memorial service for our friend's father today that I was unable to attend. My husband went representing the both of us. And then I said, well, gosh, wasn't it a good thing that I didn't go to that because our neighbor would have been stuck there? Who knows what would have happened? So I share that with you to say, I get it. You can have a plan and you're doing stuff and you're waiting and you think you're on a groove. The universe will sometimes throw a wrench into your plans. And that allows you the opportunity to determine what's really important. I know that if I couldn't have gotten back to my client, if I was MIA for a while, as soon as I got back to her and would have explained the situation, she would have understood. I also was making sure that my neighbor was okay. I was talking to him in nice, soft tones. I was asking, would you like a glass of water to drink down? Because drinking water also slows down. If your heart is racing, if your nervous system is up, you have to slow down so you can relax your throat enough to oh, I just said slow down. That's 2 right there. And helping to calm down your nervous system, drinking some water can help. Sitting there and making sure you feel okay physically. And then your nervous system that's fearful of death or dismemberment. I literally was about to call 911 and he said, don't, because the reason he was convulsing was because of his pacemaker. As soon as we realized that, he could sit there and then he knew he was safe. He knew I would take care of him. I knew he was safe. We both calmed down. And I sat with him and I chatted, and then he started joking about stuff and, cracking jokes as those old guys do. And then I walked him safely back to his house. I shut off his car. I texted my husband, made sure that he would check on him when he got home. Um, so, yeah, so he is okay. But you can make a plan, but a plan only is works the way it works when nothing else gets in the way. When you're feeling well, a plan that you make supposes that everything else is just going to be in the background. So, be having a plan, but being flexible with that plan when out of nowhere something happens. It also makes you realize how important it is to focus on the people that are near you. And so I just wanted to share that with you on the fact that if for some reason you don't get your steps in one day, it's not a big deal. If you don't drink down your water, it's okay. Treat yourself with kindness. All right. So, enough of that. And I need to definitely take a break from my sips, or I'm going to be running to the bathroom because we're only 21 minutes in here. Okay. So, let me ask you this. As I mentioned, many of you know me. If there's any new people, my name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach. My coaching is called Destination Decluttered. I want to turn it over to you because what I don't want to happen is that I end up talking for rambling on for the next 40 minutes. Let's interact here, okay? So let me ask you this. Is there something that you struggled with just in the past 12 hours? We did a TikTok live this morning at around 8 a.m. Eastern. So we are now all 12 hours older than we were this morning. We also have lived in those 12 hours. So let's celebrate the wins, but also let's take a look at what didn't really work out today and maybe figure out a way to work those things better. Okay. Now, I know for myself, because of my neighbor, my free time between chunks was lessened. I was still able to make appointments, but one of my appointments I will share with you that I realized that I can do something different about next time was at a hospital that, instead of being the one that's like 20 minutes from my house, it was 45 minutes from my house. It was also a hospital, and I'm fine. My everything came back fine. Um, it was also a hospital I had never been to. It's also a hospital that was very unclear about where I was supposed to go. So I ended up getting a lot of steps walking from building A to building C to building D. I ended up waiting around a lot for things. So I was grateful that the way I have learned to schedule my stuff is to overestimate the amount of times things will take. Kind of, as we used to say in the publishing biz, kind of fluff things up, make the space take up more because stuff's going to happen. There's going to be somebody right in front of you in line when you go to check in that is really struggling with their paperwork. And I practiced calming down my nervous system as I waited there, because I realized me getting all stressed out like that wasn't going to help. So I practiced. I calmed down. I looked down. I kind of softened down. That's 3 downs. My focus, I did not sharply focus on something. I kind of let my eyes and the muscles around them soften so that my peripheral vision just became a little bit, I don't know what's the word I want to use, not cloudy, softened, less sharp, kind of relaxing down. Even talking about it now and trying to replicate it, I don't know if you saw that, but suddenly my shoulders went down, because it does no good to stay in fight or flight. Me being aggravated, soft. Yeah, that was it, McDugs. Thank you. Yeah, kind of soften, kind of soft around the edges instead of hard, sharp focus. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that was a good word choice, Judy, right? She knew. She knew. So, how is everybody doing on their water? I feel like I've already drank about half of mine. I am closer to my destination of drinking more water than I was. And I will try to ease up, but you're right. The DOWN. Notice I didn't say it, I spelled it. You can choose if you want to sip or not. That is a word I use a lot, because many times we feel like we're all up here. We're looking up and we're overwhelmed at the choices. And we are feeling, shoulders up and tensions up and stresses up. And what we really need and benefit from is the opposite, is the stretching and the slowing. Okay. There we go. Gina says, I'm actually drinking a Pepsi, but I had water earlier and will later. Nothing wrong with that. My Pepsi is my first one in weeks. Interestingly enough, Gina, I was thinking today because after I got through at the hospital, again, those four pillars we talk about, how did I feel physically? I was hangry. I was cranky because I hadn't had much to eat. So I went to go get something to eat. And I had I had my first Diet Coke, a fountain soda Diet Coke today than I feel like I've had in weeks. I used to drink Diet Coke on the regular. We used to buy 12 packs of it. I used to bring it in. I used to treat myself to a trip to the Coke machine when I worked in my corporate office just because I wanted to get away from my desk. And so to me, I had my first Diet Coke here for the day. Yeah. Yeah. That one persona hangry is rough, but a fountain soda, yeah, crispy, a nice, and it had the crushed ice, and I had a slight little slice of pizza. So notice where the things that you have done before, sometimes something as simple as a crispy Coke, Diet Coke, and a slice of pizza can hit the spot. Once I ate some food, got it in my belly. I'll cut. And the great thing is about you guys. I was going to say, Judy Dukes, if you're feeling like you're about to explode, feel free. Everybody can run to the bathroom. It's fine. You know. Uh huh. Yeah. And so yes, notice the gradual stopping of something. You just get out of the habit. Um, but sometimes it can be now instead of something regular, it can be a treat. It can be a treat. Once I ate some food and sat my butt on a chair. Now I'm going to try to not say the D word for at least 10 minutes or so. So this will be interesting. Noticing the word, trying to find the substitution. I felt better after doing that. The fun thing was too is that where I was today, I'm reflecting back and saying, well, this was handy. One of the stores I wanted to go to yesterday when I went to the eye doctor. Don't I sound like an old person always going to the doctor? But things are going well. So that's why I go to get that peace of mind. I had hoped to go to a store that was across the street from my eye doctor to look for a rug to put in front of in a high traffic area. And I wanted a specific size. Yesterday, I was not able to do that because it took too long at the doctor's. I could have been angry about that, but I could also say, traffic cop hand, no big deal. I don't need that right away. I can always do it tomorrow. Lo and behold, that same chain, local chain, was across the street from the hospital I was with today. And they actually had in stock the exact size of rug that I wanted. I was struggling to find that size online. It was weird. It was like a 30-inch by 48-inch rug. And I was able to find it at this kind of almost old-timey department store. And it was a fraction of the price as anything was online. So I felt good about that. I was also able to then get some other tiny little things done. So even if things started with my nervous system up here with my neighbor and then getting hangry, I was able to continue calming down and getting, oh, said the D word, sorry, and get some good stuff done. That would have been made so much more difficult if I had kept up my fight or flight chemicals going through me. But I knew what to do to make myself feel better, and I did it, and I was able to kind of get back on track and do some of the things that I wanted to do, including showing up for you guys. So that's me reflecting on the day. And I have somewhat caught up on my habit tracker, and I'm feeling good about my stuff. Are you feeling good about your stuff? Do you want to share anything that went well with you today? And anything that you share, it can be a grain of salt small. Nothing is too small to not celebrate. That doesn't come out right, but you know what I mean. I don't care how small it is. I want you to celebrate something good. There's 20 of you here. I would love for you all to think of and maybe put in the comments, write it down for yourself. Think about something good that happened to you today. Even better, think of something good that you made happen today. Now, sometimes they won't be as dramatic as seriously thinking I saved somebody's life. Because again, what if I had not been at home? What if I had gone to that funeral or memorial service? I shudder to think. But yay, I did some good stuff today. I also mailed off some stuff that I had wanted to mail. So I have some good stuff to write down in my good book. What's just one thing that you did today that you can put in the comments? Think about that. And what I just realized is I haven't even started my good book for Wednesday, February 4th. Now that's because, okay, last night, what did we do? We went to IKEA and we got some pretzels at the mall. We got free pretzels. That was fun. And I know I got some good stuff done today. All right, here we go. The news is coming in. Christine says, thank you for getting me up off the couch and gathering up prepping items for donation since this live started. Oh, and bless you for being there for your neighbor. You know what? Thank goodness I was here at the right time. But yay for you getting up off the couch and gathering up some stuff. Gina did some good stuff. I went to the grocery store and finally found my ground beef and meats. Yay. Simple joys. Nothing wrong with being a simple joy. Yay, Therapy Gal Sue. This is a thing worth celebrating. I made my annual physical appointment for 2 weeks and went to the dentist today. Taking care of your physical body. Rock on. All righty. That one persona says, not much done from my to-do list today. That's okay. But spent time with 6-year-old on his snow day. Yeah, that's fun. Cooked supper when I didn't really feel like it, but now you have some cooked supper. He goes back to school tomorrow, and I can appreciate our time today. Yeah, never postpone joy. Always embrace a snow day. You will not remember the days that you decluttered, but you will have fond memories of spending that snow day with a 6-year-old. Rock on. Cynthia thought about it and says, I put 2 boxes of items in my car for Habitat for Humanity thrift store and, ordered purple frame glasses at my eye doctor appointment. Check you out. You have to get on one of the declutter parties so we can see your new glasses. How fun is that? Narelle says, today I signed the contract for my new job. After 20 years, I am changing jobs, moving to another state, and leaving my adult children behind. Wow, that is a lot of stretching of the nervous system and really changing your life, Narelle. Congratulations for your strength and boldness in doing that. Yay for you. McDougs is saying, learning and practicing meditation helped me in every aspect of my life. I'm not great at it, and frankly, I don't think anybody's great at it. But at least I make time each day. And as I get older and things get a little tougher, it continues. Yeah. So notice, you are noticing, McDougs, a tool in your toolkit called meditation that you can use to feel good even when things are getting tougher. Meditation is a great thing to regulate your nervous system. Okay. Yay. Congratulations, Narelle. Yeah. Congratulations to everybody, no matter how big or how small. The fact that, we are helping Judy Dukes get in the habit of using her habit tracker. So when her backseat driver says, I'm not good at it, she has physical evidence of she's did it one day, she can do it the next. Now mine has 10 entries here because they're all little dinky things. If you are just starting with your pavers and potholes, just put one line here. Strive to do one thing. And even mine, it says right here on the instructions. Notice I have to put it out a little bit further. That is a thing about my new eyes. Each day you complete an action, pave the block by filling it in. It's like a game. If you miss a day, consider that a pothole and put an O in the block. Don't let that stop your progress. Just show up the next day and do it. If it's something that you want to do during the week, but not necessarily every day, note that and then put an X in the box. So you're not saying, I didn't do it, it just wasn't happening. Now, those X's tend to show up in my box because the one that I do is if I have signed up for a like an exercise class. And I try to do that a couple of times, 3 to 4 times ideally throughout the week, but I know I don't do it every week. Okay. Aw. Aw. Okay, well, Garden Girl Kara says, well, I did sell one thing. Yay for selling one thing, but didn't list anything new because I have a wicked toothache. Oh, in the root canal tooth. Oh. So just rested, dentist tomorrow. Again, we go back to step number 1, pillar number 1, taking care of your physical body. If you have a toothache, you're going to be distracted by the pain and you won't be, it will be more difficult for you to focus on listing anything new. Remember, when you make a list, when you make a plan supposes everything's going to feel good and regular. So when things don't feel good, then it's time to alter your plan. There we go. Laura Voorhees is showing up, washing dishes with Beth and the club. I love it. Yay. Yay. Good stuff. So Laura Voorhees, since you just checked in, and I believe I almost made it 10 minutes without saying the word down, but I just said it, and that's the hydrate word. Okay. And we are helping Judy Dukes take a sip of water so she gets more water into her so she can feel good about filling in that little paver on her habit tracker. So yay. Feel free to join in, and I will try to say the word down some more before 9 o'clock. Here's a win. I love this, Judy Dukes. I called the doctor today, she says, and said I wasn't getting an MRI because I found out yesterday it was going to cost $2,100. Health insurance in this country is crazy. She said she'd schedule it somewhere else and only pay $500 if I'd pay cash. That's a big win right there, Judy Dukes. That to me, and everything everybody said right now, is worthy of you getting your good book out, your road trip journal of your day, and writing that down. Saved, I'm doing the math, $1,600 simply by telling somebody, I'm not doing that because it's more expensive. Not expecting, maybe hoping that somebody would lower the price, but you don't get what you don't ask for. Yay, Judy Dukes. That is a big win. And Laura Voorhees is helping out. She says, I'm down with that. All right. There we go. Yay, Laura Voorhees got something done. She decluttered the book when she visited her friend. She remembered to bring the book to her friend that she no longer wants. Yeah. Okay, Judy Dukes. Here's an interesting thing. Notice how you phrase this. I'm normally one that wouldn't ask for it. I would say instead of normally, notice this. I used to be the kind of person that would not ask for it in the past. Normal is a relative term, but now you are. I now am the kind of person, the opposite. I was not the person who would ask for the cash equivalent. I now am the person who has done it. Yay. Who's noticed that it works. Yay. And that the next time something comes up like that, you will be more confident in saying, is there a different price if I pay cash? Judy Dukes, you are kicking ass. I love it. I love it. Uh-huh. Yay. Laura Voorhees. When I was in town doing errands, I donated a small bag of things. Every little bit helps, and it's a little tiptoe forward. Tiptoe through the tulips. Remember him? What was it? Tiny Tim? He was an odd guy, but I remember that from being a kid. Yeah, Judy Dukes right now. Take a piece of paper, fold it in half the different way. Write on the front of it, my good book, and add today's entry. And then if you're anything like people I coach, Judy Dukes, are you a person who likes to buy a new good empty notebook, like a nice journal? You may be not. A lot of people I know, myself included, see the appeal of like a cool book with maybe a nice saying on it or it's a fun color. All right, Judy, you have lots of journals. Do you have one that you haven't really written in yet? If you do, find that and call that your good book. Start it today. Okay? So start it today. And you can put in it the entries of saved $1,600 by speaking up for what I wanted. What I wanted was a lower price on my MRI. Also, that I did my habit tracker and drank down some water. Yep. So that one persona is saying, in working through paper clutter, I realized we have lots of notebooks. Yes, there is a certain appeal to a fresh notebook. But many times what happens is this: we buy them and we don't use them, or we buy them and we start to use them, but then we stop and then we feel bad for the pothole that stopped us and we don't go back to it. Sometimes a book looks too good and you're afraid to junk it up by writing in it, or my writing's crappy. Play with your toys, people. These things change my life. I interact with them, but the only reason this paper, and this paper, don't leave home without it. Use the stuff you have. Caution yourself. Next time you feel like you want to buy one. Yeah, Laura Voorhees says you are reading my brain about notebooks and journals, because I am a notebook journal person too. So I just read my own mind and I think, well, if this is what goes through my mind, yeah, right. They end up in a random spot. Oh, I need a notebook for that. Enter in new notebook. This is why I say to you, practice using one notebook. Even so, here's an interesting thing. Laura Voorhees is saying part of my decluttering was selling some of the extra. That's great. And I forgot, the Norel is saying my workplace is 2 weeks in city and 2 weeks in a remote community, another 1,000 miles away. I will be flying in and out of Alice Springs and driving another 300 miles. Well, my God, are we not surrounded by an adventurous woman? You are inspirational, Norel. That's awesome. That is awesome. So cool. So cool. Yeah. So to go back to the notebooks, though, I did a video about using notebooks maybe in August, and I was encouraging people to use 2 notebooks. But one of the things I realized was, if you have a hard time keeping track of one, 2 notebooks can even be overwhelming. So that is why when you notice, when I talk about doing stuff in your notebook, I will often say, flip to the back pages. Use the back of your notebook as one way, and then the front of your notebook as another way. The back of your notebook is kind of where you do the brain dump, the list of things to do, the calming down of your backseat drivers, the chunking down of what you want to get done in each room. Kind of like the messy work, the brain dump goes in the back. And the reason that goes there is so it's attached to and easy to find when you open the front of the book and you use the pages in the front of your book to map out your day with the day up here and the hours over here of things that are scheduled officially, like YouTube lives and TikTok lives. You write down what you want to get done, and when you either want to or have to get it done on this side. And then on this side is the stuff that you would like to get done during the day, but it doesn't really need to be hyper scheduled. You will do it between things. Okay. That is why, to me, only having one book, and I love a nice big size book. I do not fare well. That's why it's around here somewhere, and I'm trying to almost use it for stupid stuff. Nope, that's that one. I know for doing work, I need a bigger book than something small like this. This book I'm using for just jotting down things. This book is nice and small. I like this because I put fewer things in it. All this book has in it is good stuff. And getting in the habit of keeping your book in an easy to find place. My notebook is usually one of two places. It's next to my computer because I spend so much time here. Or occasionally, when I want to mix things up, I will take it with me out to my seat at the kitchen table. Other than that, I have practiced putting things back instead of putting them down. All right, we're getting there, people. Oh, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but there we go. My husband is singing in the other room. It may sound like he's yelling. I could ask him to quiet down, but Judy Dukes has already gotten her 30 ounces down. Yay, Judy Dukes. All right. I now absolve all of us from having to sip for the other downs, if I happen to say it, myself included, because my bladder is going hello, and I don't want to wet my pants in the next 12 minutes. Judy Dukes, yay for you. Let's leave the day on a high note. Where is your pavers and potholes? Do you have that with you? Do you have some fun? There we go. Thanks for everyone for participating. Yes. Do you make it fun to fill out your pavers and potholes? Okay. Oh, that's fun. Shannon in retrograde could hear Cliff. I don't know what he's singing. Well, he's singing music, obviously. But yeah, let Hub sing. You know it, Laura Voorhees. I know all those words. Yeah. He even said, "Oh, you're doing a live." Well, I was going to sing. I'm like, "You can sing." And he's like, "Well, if it gets bad, you can put in your earbuds." And I was like, "It's all good." Uh-huh. Hey, Heather MC found the pizza cutter. Yay. Been sorting the silverware drawer this whole hour. Sorting. Yay. Forks, knives, spoons, other spoons. I love it. And finding the pizza cutter. We once found that we almost threw away our pizza cutter because we left it in the pizza box. So yay for you not throwing away your pizza cutter. Uh-huh. So Judy, find a good place for your habit tracker. Notice what I have done. I have used just a random clipboard that I probably had around. I kind of like clipboards, kind of work for me at a certain point. I also learned to make something fun. For years, I would just use my pen. And then one day, one of my clients said, "Oh, I like to do it different colors." And I thought, oh, how fun is that? So sometimes I do it where I want to do a different color like this. Other times I pick different colors. Every month I do something different. I'm gonna Roy G. Biv this. Anybody remember Roy G. Biv? Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, like a rainbow. So fill in your habit tracker, Judy Dukes. Celebrate. You did it. You are a person who can do this. And notice what you have done today. And can you do it tomorrow for these things? If you can, give it a shot. Yay. I am so proud of you for doing that. Tomorrow, for accountability, because obviously that helped, you can look on the secret page to notice that we do only have a TikTok live tomorrow. I have realized myself when I do these late night, because I'm such an old person, YouTube lives, The next day, I like to break it up by only doing a TikTok live. And also, we have plans tomorrow night. So I offer to you, Judy Dukes, notice what worked for you, accountability. Yeah, accountability, external accountability is wonderful. So, how about tomorrow? I'll share it with you, 11 a.m. is the TikTok. And practice doing things on your own. But maybe what you also do is you could schedule some of the things that you want to get better at on your habit tracker, AKA your 20 minutes of decluttering. You could put that on your schedule for tomorrow while we have the TikTok live going on. Now, you may need to mute it or turn it down to hear yourself think and make decisions, but you can have it running in the background. If accountability helps, write that in your good book. This is something that helped me get something done, was accountability and camaraderie. Maybe that will also be something that because I know you've done the declutter parties. Maybe one of the things everybody here writes down, if they can make it, is buy my ticket to my declutter party. When you buy a ticket to something, that is an action you can take that will dramatically increase the likelihood that you will go to the event. If you wait for the last minute and you don't buy a ticket, you're always on the fence. Well, I'm going to go. But once you buy that ticket, boom, you are in. So I like to do that. And I like to do that ahead of time because in the past, my husband and I, he wasn't like this. And we had gotten sold out of some things and we didn't like that. So I say to you, what's something that you can do today that will give you peace of mind about something in the future? Notice what Sue did. She scheduled a doctor's appointment. Notice she was talking about the dentist, doing something now. Poor Kara has got a toothache, but she's going to the dentist tomorrow to feel better, not just for tomorrow, but for all the days that she has all her teeth. So think of something you could do tomorrow. Okay. Now, Judy Dukes, I'm so glad you mentioned that because here's the thing. This coming Sunday one, I did have to scrap that. Okay. I did take it away and I'm so glad you told me because I don't want you to be disappointed. But again, the reason I did that was because I did not realize, and we did not realize when I was scheduling those, that we would be invited to a memorial service for our friend who passed away. And that's about 3 hours away from us. So we need to leave early in the day and then attend it and then drive home. And as we know, things like that will take time and energy and will be depleted when we come back. So I'm so sorry, Judy, but if you look on the page, I can give you, actually, I've got it right up here. If anybody wants to just jot these down or look at your calendar as I say these things, I will read off the declutter party dates. All right. So here's what they are, and they're fairly consistent. So this coming Saturday, February 7th, 8 a.m. Eastern to 9:30 a.m. Eastern for the very early birds, because there are some of them, including myself. Also on Saturday, for the not so early birds and for the people who are in different time zones, I'm doing a 12 noon to 1:30 p.m. So that's this coming Saturday, the 7th, 8 a.m. and 12 p.m. for an hour and a half. Second verse, same as the first. The following Saturday, February 14th. Now, February 14th is Valentine's Day for some people. So if you want to declutter on Valentine's Day, maybe you tell your Valentine, buy me a ticket to this declutter party. So Saturday, February 14th, same thing. An 8 a.m. start for the early birds, a 12 p.m. start for a noontime start, Eastern, of course, for the not so early birds or the people in different time zones. Now, Sunday the 15th, we will have a declutter party. That one starts at 11 a.m. Eastern, kind of splitting it down the middle. Saturday, February 21st, this is going to sound familiar, an 8 a.m. start and a noontime start. And then Sunday, February 22nd is an 11 a.m. start. Okay? Now, the weekend after that, I don't have any because I am excited to share my happy place with one of my sisters. I am going out. We, the singing boy in the other room and myself, are going out to one of our many happy places, but definitely in the top 3, which is Palm Springs, California. And I am excited because I want to share the place that I think is so cool with my sister, who I know she's going to think it's cool. So, those are the declutter parties. I hope you can make it. If you can't make it, if I'm not doing one, you can also start one on your own. Please do not, I am not going to say, what is that they call it? Intellectual property. Now, if you charged money for it and made money off of it, I don't know about that because I donate all of my money, but you could call somebody up. You could call a friend to say, I would like some accountability. You could call up and say, could you give me some accountability? I am going to declutter my bedroom closet for an hour and a half. I'm going to do 3 20-minute chunks, and I'm going to take some breaks in between. And I'm going to call you when I start, and I'm going to call you after that hour and a half is done to check in and check out with you. Can you hold me accountable to that? And hopefully the answer is yes, because that's what good friends do. Okay. So check us out, you guys. We've got about 3 minutes left. Judy Dukes, you did the good stuff. Yay, you. All of us, anybody who participated, sipping water, sipping on gin and juice, with my mind on my money and my money on my mind. Is that the same song? I don't know. Here's the funny thing. Kind of like when you're warm and you just want to keep that warmth in you all the time, things don't last. So we wish we could save up all this water and just parse it out. But you know what? We're going to pee some of it out. It's going to go to our cells. Tomorrow, we will be more hydrated than we maybe were yesterday morning, but we'll need to start again with an empty 30-ounce water. But that's okay. Those things you repeat, the way you make it fun, or that you just don't mind it, or you make a game of it, the easier it is to get stuff done. All right. So we've got a TikTok live tomorrow. We've got some TikTok live and YouTube on Friday. We've got some declutter parties. We've got some good stuff going on. I am putting my habit tracker over here on this corner of my desk because it's the one I see when I leave. I put it at an angle. It's sticking out. So it looks like it doesn't belong there. That is a visual reminder for me to join Judy Dukes in doing my pavers and potholes so that when I leave here and go to the bathroom to get rid of some of this water I just drank, I will also do the last 3 things on mine. Okay. So we've got less than a minute left. I'm also going to moisturize my hands. I need to write that down and say, put moisturizer at that desk, at your riser, at desk. All right. Wrote it down. Tomorrow, I'll have hands like Madge. You're soaking in it. All right. This was really fun, you guys. This flew by. I'm glad we had some fun doing it. And I look forward to continuing to hang out together. I look forward to hearing about how you are growing and doing things and getting stronger at the things that help you get stuff done. All right. And oops, we're almost at how many seconds do we have? I want to make sure I'm here. There we go. Okay, we're doing the 10, 9, 8 type of, who was it? The Dick Clark countdown. So I will wait until it's 9 o'clock. It just turned 9 o'clock on my phone. I'm going to sign off. Sue, it was good to see you. Judy, Christine, Heather, Narelle, LGB, everybody, that one persona, everybody. If I missed your name, don't take it personally. I suck with names. It's okay. You count. Thank you for showing up and keeping me company. And I will see you guys tomorrow.